BSF recovery team. It's Memorial Weekend. We're at Dresser, Wisconsin, and we just got sent out onto the red trail because apparently there's a big huge truck stuck in the mud, an obstacle called Randy's Hole, that they need a wrecker to get out, and then there's also one there that needs a tow out. So we got to retrieve one from the mud and then tow one out of the woods.
Good job. I'm glad you figured out how to use the radio. I'm gonna add in a little so I can get the powdered sugar. Copy that. Maybe some cheese curds. Picking up, Papa.
Here we are, we're coming up on Randy's Hole. Looks like we got some traffic in the way. Looks like it's a little slimy out here. We got some rain last night, some the night before. This trail's got a lot of clay in it. Rain and clay make slime. We'll go see what's going on. Hey!
We found quite an interesting situation. This truck had bent a wheel and the bogger lugs were catching on the leaf spring, so he was unable to move. He bent the wheel when he was trying to rescue this buggy from the mud hole and hit the end of the strap and actually bounced off of the tree that you see here. The wheel was bent so bad that the tire was almost pushed off the inner bead. In fact, I'm actually quite surprised it was still holding air. The truck was blocking the trail and needed to be towed from the rear. And the buggy that we were also sent to winch out was on the other side.
We're gonna see if we can get around.
So we backed up to a spot on the trail where it looked like we could get through the woods to the other side. Now, before any of you get all upset and start posting comments about how you should never go off trail or create new trails, while this is true on public lands, let me remind you that this is private property and we do have permission to go off trail or create new bypasses where we need to. I stopped here and let my co-driver out to break off a few branches that were pointed right towards my grill. The last thing I need is a hole in my radiator while on a recovery. Even though the wrecker kind of feels like a bulldozer when you're driving it through the woods, it still has the same vulnerabilities that most trucks have.
You need to break that into that branch lane there. I want to try and climb right up through there.
I carry a chainsaw on the wrecker just for this type of situation, but in this case, you might have to take away my Boy Scout badge because I wasn't prepared.
Eric, you're out of gas. It's supposed to be full.
Oh, copy that, thanks.
It was totally my fault we were resorted to the brute strength method.
I'll get in again, otherwise we'll just put a quick chain on it and break it off.
I don't know if I don't think we can. Oh, maybe.
Wonderful. Nice squeeze. Tow truck shortcut.
Now that we were on the other side, we could back the tow truck in and set up for the winch recovery of the buggy that was stuck in that little deep hole with some really thick mud. I could tell right away this wasn't going to be an easy winch recovery. Those were 44-inch boggers on that buggy, and it was stuck in some thick gumbo mud.
Get the one out of the mud first.
Is he broke or is he just
Oh. Even though the buggy wasn't broke and could still fire up the power of the tires, I was pretty sure a single line wasn't going to be enough to get him out of that mud. So we sent the snatch block already on the cable to be attached to the front of the buggy.
You got them white shoes on. I figured you weren't going in.
I'm crippled. Come on, Mikey, pull. I want to hear about the first. He's got a hook in the front.
I was also pretty sure, by the looks of the gumbo that the buggy was stuck in, that the wrecker itself wasn't going to be enough of an anchor to winch the buggy out. So we attached another pulley to a tree and then strung the cable back to the buggy again. This would divide the load into thirds, 2/3 on the tree and 1/3 on the wrecker. With the cable rigged, the winch blankets in place, and everybody standing clear, we were ready to give it a try. I soon found out that even with only 1/3 of the load on the wrecker and the brakes on the wrecker locked, it was still sliding in towards the mud. Since we already had almost all of the boom cable strung out in this configuration, the next step was to anchor the front of the wrecker.
Anchor up.
Mike's Suburban providing an additional anchor, we were ready to try it again. And the buggy was starting to move, but it was going to be a slow process. didn't want to let go of that buggy and let him drive out. Dragging a ton of gumbo out of that hole along with the buggy, and it was thick. I should know, I was getting pelted by it the whole time. Finally, we got to the point where he could drive the buggy again. We unhooked everything, packed it away as quick as possible so he could continue to trail ride. But we still had one more truck to rescue.
One down, one to go. This one we got to tow all the way out.
Thanks for watching, BSF Recovery Team. Join us next week when we show you what other situation we run into while we're towing this truck out. Stay safe, keep wheeling, and maybe we'll see you out there in the woods.